Exodus chapter 29. This is the ceremony you must perform when you consecrate them to serve me in the priesthood. Take 1 young bull and 2 rams without any defect, and unleavened bread, unleavened cakes mixed with oil, and unleavened wafers spread with oil, all made from fine wheat flour. You must put these things into a basket and present them in the basket along with the young bull and the 2 rams. Then you shall bring Aaron and his sons to the entrance of the tent of meeting, and they are to be bathed. Take the vestments and dress Aaron in the tunic, the robe of the ephod and the breastpiece, and gird him with the woven band of ephod. Put the turban on his head and attach the diadem to it. Then take the chrism oil and pour it on his head, and so anoint him. Next, bring his sons and clothe them with tunics. Pass the girdles around their waists and put the turbans on their heads, and the priesthood will be theirs by an irrevocable statute. This is how you are to invest Aaron and his sons. You are to bring the bull in front of the tent of meeting. Aaron and his sons are to lay their hands on its head. Slaughter the bull there before the Lord at the entrance to the tent of meeting. Then take some of its blood and with your finger put it on the horns of the altar. Next, pour out the rest of the blood at the foot of the altar. Then take all the fat that covers the inner organs, the fatty mass which is over the liver, the 2 kidneys with their covering fat, and burn them on the altar. As for the bull's flesh, its skin and its dung, you must burn them outside the camp, for it is an offering to take away sins. Next, you are to take 1 of the rams. Aaron and his sons are to lay their hands on its head. You are to slaughter the ram, take up its blood, and pour it all around the altar. Next, divide the ram in pieces and wash the inner organs and legs and put them with the head and the other pieces. Then burn the whole ram on the altar. It is a burnt offering to the Lord, an offering by fire, a sweet aroma that appeases the Lord. Next, you are to take the other ram. Aaron and his sons are to lay their hands on its head. You are to slaughter the ram, take some of its blood, and put it on the lobe of Aaron's right ear, on the lobes of his sons' right ears, on the thumbs of their right hands, and on the big toes of their right feet, and pour out the rest of the blood all around the altar. Then take some of the blood that remains on the altar, together with some of the anointing oil, and sprinkle it on Aaron and his vestments, and on his sons and their vestments, so that he and his vestments will be consecrated, and his sons too, and their vestments. You are to take the fatty parts of the ram, the fatty tail, the fat that covers the inner organs, the fatty mass which is over the liver, the 2 kidneys with the fat that is on them, and also the right thigh, for this is a ram for the investiture ceremony. You are to take a loaf of bread, a cake of bread made with oil, and a wafer from the basket of unleavened bread placed before the Lord, and put it all into Aaron's hands and those of his sons, and make the gesture of offering before the Lord. Then you are to take them back from them and burn them on the altar, on top of the burnt offering, as an offering by fire, a sweet aroma that appeases the Lord. You are to take the breast of the ram of Aaron's investiture and make the gesture of offering before the Lord. This is to be your own portion. You are to consecrate the breast that has been thus offered as also the thigh that is set aside, the breast which has been offered, and the thigh that has been set aside from the ram. This, by an irrevocable statute, will be the portion that Aaron and his sons are to receive from the sons of Israel. This is the portion set aside, a portion the sons of Israel are to set aside from their communion sacrifices, the portion they owe to the Lord. Aaron's sacred vestments are to pass to his sons after him, and they will wear them for their anointing and investiture. The son of Aaron who comes after him in the priesthood and enters the tent of meeting to serve in the sanctuary must wear them for 7 days. You are to take the ram used for the investiture and cook its meat in a holy place. Aaron and his sons will eat the meat of the ram and the bread that is in the basket at the entrance to the tent of meeting. They are to eat what was used in the ceremony of atonement and consecration. No unauthorized person may eat these, because they are holy things. If any of the meat from the investiture ceremony or the bread should be left till morning, you must put what is left in the fire. It is not to be eaten, because it is a holy thing. For Aaron and his sons, you are to do exactly as I have commanded you. You are to spend 7 days in their investiture. On each of these 7 days, you are also to offer a bull as a sacrifice for sin in atonement. By offering an atonement sacrifice for sin, you will take away sin from the altar. Then you must anoint it and so consecrate it. For 7 days you are to repeat the atonement sacrifice for the altar and consecrate it. So it will be extremely holy, and whatever touches it will become holy. This is what you are to offer on the altar: 2 yearling lambs, day by day continually. The first lamb you must offer in the morning, the second in the evening twilight. With the first lamb you must offer 1/10 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with 1/4 of a hin of purest oil, and 1/4 of a hin of wine as the libation. The second lamb you must offer in the evening twilight. Do this with the same amounts of flour, olive oil, and wine as in the morning. This is an offering by fire, a sweet aroma that appeases the Lord. This is the perpetual whole burnt offering, which is to be offered from generation to generation at the entrance to the tent of meeting in the presence of the Lord. That is where I shall meet you and speak to you. There I will meet the people of Israel, and this place will be consecrated by the presence of my glory. In this way I will consecrate the tent of meeting and the altar, and Aaron too and his sons, to be priests in my service. For I will remain with the people of Israel, and I will be their God. And so they will know that I, the Lord, am their God, who brought them out of the land of Egypt to live among them. I am the Lord their God.